So folks, today I'm going to be building a smart home speaker. These are the tools you need. So you need some screwdrivers, you need a small little scissors, slightly bigger scissors, you need a case. So this is an old Bluetooth speaker which I've disassembled, and from there you get a battery, you get the controls. So that's the, you will use these because it has the little sort of things you press against the switches. This is the rest of the speaker. So that's the speaker from the unit. You also need to make some adaptations. So what I've done is I've adapted this little USB-C power inlet, and I've added a USB-C plug, because you need to reroute the power from the board to the outside of the case. And then you need an Esp32. So this is an Esp32, but this is custom one. It's already got connections for speaker, microphone, and or if you haven't got an Esp32, you could buy an Esp32, which is an Esp32, which is the same as this one, but this one has connections, so you have to do all the soldering yourself and make the connections to the accessories. So yeah, so first thing you have to do is, once you dismantle your speaker, is to remove the parts you don't need. So I've already done that. I've removed, so this is the circuit board for the speaker. So as you can see, so you don't throw this away, because this is a Bluetooth speaker module, and all I've done is remove the battery, and I've removed the power inlet, so this is still usable. So I'll keep this because I'll use this to build a Bluetooth speaker, if I need one in the future. I'll also keep this because this matches the buttons and the power buttons. So I'll just remove these, cut them out, and use these in another project. So don't discard, even though Bluetooth speaker is only a few pounds, so don't discard so these bits. So I'll keep these bits, put them away somewhere safe. So that's all you need. So you need a speaker, you need an adapter which you can make yourself, a little piglet you make yourself. You need a battery which you get from the speaker, and you need an Esp32. So this one or that one. You also need a little LCD screen, a small little OLED screen, and that's all. So what I'll do is, off camera, I'll put this together and then I'll show you the results. So what I've done, sorry, straighten that. I've taken out part of this so I could fit the ESP32. I'm going to fit it in here like that. Then I'm going to run the piglet like that, and then I'm going to connect it back to where it was before in the case, so like that. And then where's the battery? I'll fit the battery in, and then once I fit the battery in, I use a little bit of cardboard to isolate this from the battery. So I've got a little bit of cardboard. So that's all the parts to make this project. So I either use this one, which is very mini, and it's exactly the same as that one, but that one's already got connections. While this one you have to use wires to connect. So this is a Esp32 S3, which is the same as this is a Esp32 S3. So this is a spare, which I'll probably make another speaker at some stage. So that's all you need for it. So I'll do this off camera, and then once I've finished this, I have to load the program. So the program I'll be using will be esphome, which is you get esphome builder, which is a plugin for Home Assistant. So once you've downloaded the plugin, you then go into the builder and you install the device. Once the device is finished, it'll show up in esphome as a USB bridge. So you use a USB cable to plug into your computer. Then you go on site and you go, I'll leave a link in my description to show you where to get the software. And then once you download that, you have to then flash the software onto the ESP32. Once you've done that, you'll then be able to use the speaker to give commands to the Home Assistant. Things like asking for the weather, asking for the time, and use a wake word. The wake word I'm using will be Nabu, and the assistant will be called Jarvis. So I'll do that once I've put all of this together. I'll do this off camera because it's very fiddly, and I haven't got a tripod for this phone, so I'll do this off camera. But I've shown you how to connect it. It's very easy. Just connect the speaker to one of these terminals. You connect the battery to one of these terminals, and then you glue in the esphome into this frame, and then connect everything, and that's it. So, and then obviously load the software. So once it's working, I'll come back to you and show you how it all works. So folks, here's my Home Assistant, as you can see. So you're going to so there's the esphome. So you're going to edit, and there's the code. So there's the code you need to upload to your speaker. So my code might be different to your codes. So what you need to do is when you go onto the website, you need to download the code in a zip file and import it into your ESP home builder. Then what you have to do is go into the settings, you change the model that you want to use for your instant. You have to set the, if you're using an LCD, you need to set the type of LCD you're using, the model, like ST7789 or ELI 9441. You set the image width and height. Then you need to set the pins. So you need to look at the pins you're going to connect to the Esp32. You need to set any backlight pins, and then you have to go into the audio. So you scroll down when you find your audio settings. There you go, microphone and speaker, and then you would actually set those in accordance to the hardware you're using. So whatever ESP32 model you're using, you would actually set this up. The channel you set to stereo or mono. Mine's mono, so I'm using a mono speaker. Then you edit the media player files if you want to play music through the speaker. You also put in how it's going to be announced, what announcement, for instance, announcement on the line pipeline. And then you have to set the sample rate, so you set 48,000, and yeah, and then there's the trigger word sounds, and then you go to this, you could copy this HTTPS file and go to that website, and that will give you some idea of how to set things up. When you finish and you made all your changes, you go over to this side and you click on install, and that will give you a file which you copy. So if you click install, this pops up. So I've already done this, so I won't be doing it again, but it says how do you want to install your cube YAML. So according to what ESP32 board you've got, you need to install this YAML onto it. So you will see a plug-in to this computer, but I wouldn't choose that. I chose manual download, which will compile this code here, all of this code, and give you a bin file. And then what you have to do is then you would then install the bin file straight to your ESP32, and to tell if you've been successful, as soon as you're finished installing the bin file, the screen will light up and you can then test the voice assistant. So that's all you've got to do really to get this working. Yeah, so that's all you need to do to get this working. But remember, you need to install hacks onto your Home Assistant to be able to download plugins. So I've got like sensors, cameras, music players, etc. on my Home Assistant. So yeah, so that's it. That's all you have to do. And then once you've assembled your little speaker module and you tested it and it works, then that's fine, because you've installed the software correctly. You just then have to use the wait word, which is OK Nabu, and the little speaker changes from a sleeping position to it wakes up, and if you ask it what the time it'll respond either by giving you a text showing the actual time, or it'll speak to you, depends on how you've got it set up. So that's all for this section. I've actually included a demo of the speaker working, so you could see that in the section that's after this particular section. So that's it, folks, and in the other section I'll see you and then see how it goes. So I've finished put together the Home Assistant speaker, and yeah, so you can see what it looks like. I'll just get a bit more light. So there's the speaker. To see, I've had to modify it a little bit more. I had to create somewhere to install the USB port, and I had to make a little hole so I could access the power button. So I just need to insert a straight object to press on the power button to wake it up. So as you can see, there's a little robot, and all I have to say is, okay Nabu, what is the time? And you can see, okay Nabu, what is the temperature? So yes, so it's all working fine. Okay, so that's all, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Okay Nabu, what's the time?